your pencil and your calculator. Remember, we can use our calculators for this unit. And we're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. We're going to start our conversation talking about the commutative, the associative, and the distributive properties to evaluate or solve an equation. So what we want to look at first are these three pieces of information. You're going to see that in our Schoology folder, in our new blue, I think it's blue. What color is our new folder? Blue? Okay, I think it's blue. In our new blue Schoology folder, you're going to see I've already taken these and there is notes, okay? So that you can write out the examples as to what these things mean, or print it out so that you can refer back to it anytime you need to. But let's get down into the nitty-gritty of each of these properties. In your notes, please write the commutative property. You do not need to write there, You do not need to write there what's in orange yet. You will be in a second. But I wanted to talk to you first for a second. When we're talking about these properties, it's important for us to understand that we're specifically focusing in on multiplication and addition. If you would please write down the commutative property and what it means to use this commutative property. So it's important for us to know that this property helps us to remember that when adding or multiplying, the order of the numbers in the equation does not change what the answer will be. So for example, 6 times 9 equals 63. I'm sorry, 54, Lord. 6 times 9 equals 54, forgive me, okay? That's the same thing as 9 times 6. If I change the order of the numbers in this equation, that doesn't change what my answer will be. You see what I'm saying? 2 plus 16 will still equal 18. And that's the same thing if I wrote 16 plus 2. Changing the order of these numbers in the equation does not change what the answer will be. Please write down this information about the commutative property and the examples. And we'll be going on in 2 minutes. So that's our commutative property. Let's talk about the associative property. The associative property. Remember, I'm recording this lesson, so if I go too fast for you, that's okay. You can go back and watch this recorded lesson that I will put up as soon as I'm done. So the associative property, and you can go ahead and write this down. The associative property also deals with adding and multiplying, and this talks about the grouping of the numbers in an equation. Okay, so for this, for example, okay, six plus 2 plus 3 will still equal 11 if I were to write 6 plus 2 plus 3, notice I just moved the grouping of the numbers, it would still equal 11. That doesn't change anything. Now, this is just like with the commutative property. This is only true with adding and multiplying, okay? With adding and multiplying. Another example with multiplication, 6 times 2 times 1 will still equal 12, just like 6 times 2 times 1, okay? I grouped the numbers differently, but it still will give me the same answer. Take some time to get this done, please. Take some time to finish this up, and then we're going to move on to the distributive property. So when we look at these properties, it helps us to understand the importance of addition and multiplication and how that can be shown to us, right? So when we're looking at the distributive property, let's look at this example. Please write this down. 5y plus 2. When I think about distribute, I want to think about a little for me and a little for you. Notice that hand motion I did. You do that too. A little for me and a little for you. A little for me and a little for you. When we distribute, that's what we're doing. We're distributing the value of a number. So when we look at 5y plus 2, this is telling us to multiply 5 by each of these numbers inside of these parentheses. So what do I mean by that? Perhaps you've seen this before in 4th grade and a little bit in 5th grade before we went out of school, but I wanted to make sure you understood that when we're distributing, we are multiplying. So 5 is going to be multiplied by y, and 5 is also going to be multiplied by 2. So what this could say is 5y plus 10. Can someone tell me, how did I get 5y? Someone turn on their mic and let us know.
5 times y.
Very good. 5 times y. And where did I get that 10 from?
5 times 2.
Very good. So it's important for you to know that 5y plus 2, 5 times y plus 2, sorry, is the same thing as 5y plus 10. Take some time to finish writing that down. So let's take this a step further. This is easier, right? Let's take it a little step farther. What if y equals 4? Can we solve this? Absolutely. So remember, we're going to substitute. Anywhere where that y is, we're going to substitute it for what number, guys? Turn your mic on.
4.
4. Very good. So a little for you, a little for you. In other words, I could just do order of operations here to solve it. That would be 6 times 5, which would be 30. Or when I'm using that distributive property, what I'm saying is 5 times 4 plus 5 times 2. Can someone turn on their mic and let us know what is 5 times 4?
20. 20.
20, very good. And what is 5 times 2?
10.
So don't I get the same answer? It's important for us to know that we can use the distributive property. Let me change that. We will use the distributive property to solve equations. And we're going to get some practice in with it today. Take some time to finish writing this down. Okay, so let's go on. So let's get some practice in today. Today, what you and I are going to be doing is some guided practice. I want you to first write down, this will need a full page of paper. So I want to give you some time to write down each of these problems. And if you'd like to start going ahead of me and solving some of these, or distributing some of these, that's great. We're not solving. We're not going to get one answer right now. I just want to know what this will look like as a distributive property. When I distribute a little to you and a little to me, what will that look like? Take some time to write down all 6 of these problems. You may want to use a full page of paper, okay? We're not doing any computing right now. So let's look at A. I want you to stop writing and copying right now, and let's look at A, because I'd like to do that one with you, okay? Erase that green there. Try to make it a little neater this time. So 5 times 4y. What do you think would go here? What would be 5 times 4y?
Will it be just 5 times 4?
It would actually be 20y. Where did I get 20 from, Jalen?
Oh, I said it wrong. I meant like you can do 5 times 4 and then you would get 20y.
Yeah, and I keep that y there because I don't know what number y is yet. So that y wouldn't go away. And this is telling me 5 times 6. Remember, a little bit to you, a little bit to you, okay? So when rewriting this, to show the distribution, this will be 5 times 20y plus 5 times 6. Remember, whenever I have a number in parentheses beside another number, that tells me to multiply. Let's look at B. A little bit to you, a little bit to you. I'm distributing 12 to both of those terms. What would go in this blank? Someone turn on their mic and let me know. It's okay if we're just learning. We're just learning it. It's okay. What would go here in this blank?
32B.
Okay.
30.
What is
32.
12 times 3?
36.
36B. 36B. And what is 12 times 2? Oh, and then this would be 12 and 2. So when we rewrite this, it will be 12 times 36. Actually, not 12 times. Sorry, y'all. Well, yeah. 12 times 36B. Where's my? Okay. Plus 12 times 2. And I'm telling you wrong again. We're going to delete that 12 because that 12 is gone because we've. So let's solve these two. What is 5 times 6?
30. 30.
30. So reframing this would be 20y plus 30. This would be 36b plus, what's 12 times 2?
24. 24.
24. So let's do C correctly. My fault. Remember, we're going to distribute 8 to A and 8 to 4. So this would be an A here, and this would be, what is 8 times 4?
32.
8A plus 32. Does anyone have any questions as to how I got that now that I've gotten rid of the confusion?
No, not really.
Good. So let's try D. We're distributing to both of these. So 2D and 3. What is 5 times 2?
10.
10.
D plus, what will go here? What's our number here? Think about what we're doing.
15.
15. Here, we're multiplying 4 by 8c and 4 by 7. What is 4 times 8?
32.
32c plus what number will go here?
28.
28. Here, let's do our last one, F. What's going to be my first term here?
$27.
Just 27?
$27F.
Why? Why is this number 27? Where did I get that from?
9 times 3.
Very good. We distribute that 9 to both terms inside our parentheses. So what term would go here?
45.
45. Because we multiplied 9 and 5. So now let's work to solve this problem. We've already tried it, solving this problem. I'll go back here for a second. Sorry, I went so fast. Okay, so now let's look at that same problem we had earlier where we were going to distribute, okay, there we go, where we're going to distribute 5 to both of these terms. Sounds like we're becoming old pros at it. So basically, 4y plus 5 times 6. So what would I write in these two blanks, guys?
4y plus 5. 4y plus 6.
Not quite. Remember, don't forget what we do here. What are we doing with 4 and 5 here?
20Y.
Very good. Plus?
30.
Very good. So now we're going to solve for, they already have told us what y is. So now we need to solve this equation. Please write this down. This is the same thing we've been doing for a while. Our first step here is going to be to substitute. Our first step here is going to be to substitute. In other words, anywhere where I see that y, I'm going to substitute it for 7. So 20 times 7 plus 30. We want to remember our order of operations. We always want to multiply first. So use your calculators, but you could just do it in your head. What is 20 times 7? Another way for us to think about this is what is 2 times 7?
14.
14. So 20 times 7 would be 140. I just added a 0. Then 140 plus 30. So what would my sum be?
170.
170. Very good. So we want to remember with our steps here, we're going to substitute. We're then going to rewrite. And then we're going to solve. Those are our 3 steps. Go ahead and mute yourselves, please. Take some time to finish writing this down. And then we're going to keep moving. Okay, so let's talk about the assignments that you will be completing today. And before I do that, I want to make sure the following students stay in the classroom after class is dismissed today. Jalen, Amir, Aphrodite, Emily, and Michael. All 5 of you will need to stay in class today. Let me say those names again. Jalen, Amir, Aphrodite, Emily, and Michael. Okay? So once everyone else is dismissed, this is what you will be working on. Okay? Let's go to Schoology. We're going to go to our math course. In our blue folder, week 17 through 20, you will be working on evaluating equations. Let's talk about what I'm expecting of you. Okay, let's preview it. Remember, you only get 2 attempts, so take your time. What I want you to do is practice with solving equations today. We're going to be practicing with solving equations today. So we're going to do, you and I will do number 1 together so that you have some practice with it so that you can remember what you need to do here. So let's look at number 1 because you're going to answer all 9 of these questions. 2e equals 4. 2e equals 4. Okay. So when we're looking at this, (2e) equals 4. Now, someone remind me, when I have a coefficient right beside a variable, what operation am I doing? You may want to write this down.
Multiplication?
Very good. So in other words, what I'm asking is 2 times what equals 4? Can somebody tell me what that answer would be?
2.
Yeah. So the answer here would be 2. E is equal to 2. But I want to take you through the steps in how to solve an equation, okay? Because you won't always have them this easy. We have to get the E alone. In other words, isolate our variable, okay? When we isolate our variable, we're multiplying 2 or dividing 2 by 2. And now we just have that E by itself with an invisible 1 there. Anytime we see a variable alone, it has an invisible 1 beside it, okay? That doesn't change anything. It's just one variable there, okay? So remember, whatever we do on the left side, we have to do on the other side of the equation as well. So if I divided by 2 here, I have to divide by 2 on the other side. And so my answer here would be 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay. Any questions here? All right, let's do one more together. I didn't pause long enough. Does anyone have a question as to how I got that? Okay. Let's do one now where we're having to do another operation, and I'll write in a different color. Okay, so let's now say seven equals D over 3. We have to find out what the value of D is. So what I'm asking myself right now is, remember, this is division. D divided by 3 equals 7. So if this means division, what is the inverse or opposite operation for division?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So I'm going to have to multiply this by 3. This is the only way I can get that variable by itself. I can isolate my variable. We want to remember that whatever we do on one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side of the equation. So what is 3 times 7?
21.
So D
21.
is 21. So that's what you're going to be doing today for the first part of your assignment, okay? That's what you'll be doing today for the first part of your assignment. Number 2, you're going to be using a table where you're going to be solving each of these problems with a different value for Y. So let's look at this first one together. I'll screenshot it and let's do this one together. Please pay attention so we know how to do it. Okay. Here we go. All right, so what we're looking at here is you're going to basically be solving 3 different problems using Y being equal to 3. So we're going to be substituting Y for 3 in 3 different problems. Let's start with the easiest one. If we substitute everywhere where we see a Y for the number 3, this is what that will look like. And can someone tell me what is 3 plus 3?
6.
So the answer here would be 6. Here, we're substituting that Y for 3. So that's what that would look like. And what is 3 divided by 3?
1.
Very good. And then here, we're going to be substituting Y for 3 here. So now we're multiplying. Remember, when the coefficient and variable are right beside each other, we're multiplying. So now we're going to be multiplying 9 by 3. And can someone please tell me what is 9 times 3?
27.
So 27 would be my answer there. You're going to be doing that today. You're going to be doing that today as you work with this chart, and all of them will have different values. What about if y equals 6? What about if y equals 9? Okay, and you'll drag your answers up to where they go. Remember, you only get 2 attempts, so you want to take your time. You also need to email me your work, or you don't get full credit for what you've turned in. Let me say that again. Email me your work, or you don't get full credit for what you've completed. I need to see your thinking, okay? All right, so let me share the screen again. You want to make sure that the following children are in this classroom when everyone else is dismissed. I will need to have Jalen, Amir, Aphrodite, Emily, and Michael. Everyone else is dismissed to get to work on math until 1:44. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, so we still have our kids in the room who need to be here. The reason why you